And so, dear church family, this morning I want to leave with you Jonathan Euler. He's not a stranger to our Atlanta North Church. His family's been have been members here for a long time in the past. Now God is calling them into a different ministry. But Brother Jonathan, thank you so much for being with us this morning. And I pray that God will use you in a powerful way this morning to share what God has been doing in your life. May the Lord bless you, and may we be enriched by what our brother has to share with us this morning.
Happy Sabbath. It is a blessing to be back in my home church. I was a graduate of the elementary school there across the street, went from 3rd grade to 8th grade, and it's a blessing to be back. Let's have a prayer before we start. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you for providing the Sabbath day for us to rest and reflect on you. Please give us all the wisdom and strength to continue your work around the world. In your name we pray, amen. So this first slide here is meaningful to me, as it's been a very difficult road throughout my life and missionary experience. And it also represents the quality of road that I've been driving on for the last 11 years as I've been abroad, driving on many rough roads. And been a difficult path in more than one way. To give a little background, I was born in Southern California in 1981. I started SDA schooling at age 5, went to Atlanta North, got a lawn care business, started at age 12, worked at a restaurant at age 14, worked for Cliff Reeser, if he's here today, a very, very difficult boss and difficult job, and learned a lot from him. Moved across the country to start school at 18 at La Sierra, graduated from there with an international business degree, continued to try and work in the restaurant industry and find a job that would make me happy, but couldn't do that. Ended up going on a mission trip in 2007. My mom actually did a very good job to kind of convince me to go on the mission trip with Jared Thurman, and I was going just to kind of travel and see the world and have a good time. And Jared actually was going to do all the kind of work stuff, the difficult stuff. And another group had to leave on an emergency, and I ended up taking over the village that I was working with and having to do everything on my own. It was an amazing experience. That first trip was with Share Him, and it was to the southern part of India, an amazing country, an amazing place in the world. I went just to kind of see the animals. You can see the snake there, and riding the elephant and doing fun stuff there, trying the food, and just experiencing another culture. And after Jared went to preach at the other village, leaving me to do the children's story and the sermon and everything on my own, I met just the most wonderful people, met the kids, met the community, did medical clinic, gave out food, just really amazing. Saw the benefits of natural remedies and charcoal. And at the end of that 1 month time there in southern India, there was 26 people that were baptized. So it was not only a life-changing experience for me, and probably a life-changing experience for Jared, and then life-changing experience for the village and the 26 people that were baptized. Then I continued to study, and I see that this is kind of where I was at. I felt like I was wasting my time. This Spirit of Prophecy quote, "The greatest curse of our world in this day is idleness. It leads to the amusements merely to please and gratify self." That's kind of where I was at. I was just going to work every day to do whatever I could do to kind of amuse myself and please myself. So I, through help of my mom and going to GYC, I found the Pilgrim Relief Society, and left my home and school and everything, and went to this training camp at survival training and missionary training in Romania, and spent 6 months there in the mountains of northern Romania, close there to the border of the Ukraine. And we had lots of teachers come from around the world. Sean Boonstra at the time was the head of It Is Written. It was a partnership between the Pilgrim Relief Society and It Is Written, and we learned lots of good stuff. Joe actually came to teach there, and I believe that's you teaching us there in the bottom picture. We had a great time together, and a lot of people came from around the world to teach at that school. You can see it's nice and cold there. And we learned a lot of stuff. We learned about the practical skill and how needing everyone is in need of the practical skills. In this text here, practical duties of everyday life can mean the difference of success or failure with the missionary's life in the United States, abroad, knowing how to prepare food, to deal with accidents, emergencies, to treat disease, even to build a house or a church, can make the difference in the success or the failure of the life's work of a missionary. This is another shot from the school there in Romania. We're trying to learn how to be prepared for anything, so we built an igloo and lived in an igloo for some time, built a structure in the forest and lived in the forest, lived in a cave. I built this beautiful boat here, this nice yacht of a raft, and went several miles down the river in the little canoe, raft. Learned about animals, learned how to take care of a farm, cut the firewood, run the property, spread the manure, work on the roads. We did some ministry to a gypsy village close by, learned how to give a Bible study, how to give aid, how to distribute supplies, how to minister to the community. Went around the churches in the area, learned how to give my testimony with a translator, and then we graduated. So after the graduation, they pair everybody up, and we are then sent to a missionary service location, and I was sent to the Amazon jungle in Peru. So I went straight from that school in Romania to a school in the jungle, or to a mission location in the jungle. We start at that bottom arrow there and fly in, and then take another plane, and then a bus, and then a car, and then very difficult transportation to get there, and another long, difficult road to get to the mission field. And we go to this market, and we get all our supplies and take the motorcycle to the boat, and then we load up this little boat and go by 3 days with people and supplies and animals and stuff into the jungle on this little boat all day, every day, run into problems, have to push the boat. We ran into all different types of things, have to transfer things to the other boat. The locals come out and help. The picture on the right is the locals are underneath that little tarp there. They're under the plastic. And the bottom pictures are we're having to take off the roof and go under a tree that had crossed the river. And there's my feet. I'm bailing the water out of the little boat as it's like always sinking. I'm using my food bowl there to bail out. And these are the locals. They would build their little boat with all their food and animals and stuff that they've been raising, build a little raft and float down the river, then sell all the wood and sell the animals and sell all the stuff that they'd grown on their farm, and then walk back to their house with whatever supplies they could get from the market. There's another picture of the family on their little boat with all their stuff that they had grown. And there's how we slept for the 6 months on that trip there, just a hammock in a little bamboo-style house. And there's my back with lots of bug bites. It's a difficult place when it comes to animals and nature difficulties. After the 3 days on the boat, we went 1 day by foot through environment like this to get to the village that we'd be working with. So many things that can hurt you there. The tree can hurt you, the frog can hurt you, the bug can hurt you, the fish can hurt you. This is a poisonous snake. I was sitting on a tree after a long hike, and I didn't realize that the snake was there, and the locals pulled me off the tree and then hit the snake with rocks until it died. I guess it was a poisonous snake that is very dangerous in that area. This is how we dealt with water. We are filtering the water everywhere we go. If you can see the bottom of the picture there, after it's filtered, it's all yellow, and it still tastes like grass and dirt, and it doesn't hurt you, but it's kind of difficult. There is some edible cuisine of the locals there. The monkey is not a pet. That is the grocery store. This is their garden. They have lots of gardens. They don't just eat the strange things. They eat a really good diet of fruits and vegetables, and everybody has their own garden, and the whole family works in the garden. So they eat that stuff too, the rat and the turtle and the bug and stuff. But they eat lots of other good things too. And they're more local food. So this is kind of where I'm at. I am seeing these quotes and trying to follow the counsel. Christ ministered to the people's needs before inviting them to follow him. Christ's method alone will give true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingled with men as one who desired their good. He showed his sympathy for them, ministered to their needs, and won their confidence. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, live with them, work with them, and win their confidence. It takes a long time to win somebody's confidence, much longer than you would think. They don't care so much about what you have to say until you've really won their friendship and confidence. So we're painting a school there and trying to help, do whatever we can for medical help. I printed the pictures of the kids and gave them their picture. 3 days by canoe, 1 day by foot, take the picture. 1 day by foot, 3 days by canoe, develop the picture. 3 days by boat, 1 day by foot to give the picture. 1 day by foot, 3 days by canoe to back to the city. So it was understandable that they'd never seen their picture before. Very, very, very cute kids all around the world, happy with just their stick and hoop game. We gave Bible studies, and we gave a presentation every night to the surrounding villages. Pictures on the bottom there are only showing the amount of people that you can see with the flash of the camera. There's a lot more people in attendance there than what you can see. And then at the end of this trip, there was baptisms and wonderful change for us and wonderful change for the people there. Gave out Bibles and Spirit of Prophecy to everyone that got baptized. There's our little group with the Romanian guys and myself representing the Pilgrim Relief Society and our friends from the village. And another village that we built a little church at. Wonderful, wonderful experience for us and wonderful for them as well. And then after Peru, I came back and had a meeting with longtime friend Jared and decided to join the Beehive International, or the Beehive, in 2010, founded by Rico Hill, Jared Thurman, and Scott Thurman. And this is a quote that maybe we don't have time to read about the Beehive and how the Beehive started. Basically, it's describing that a beehive of activity and providing all the different needs for people, providing jobs, education, health education, homes for orphans, jobs for the jobless, homes for the homeless, and it's an all-encompassing term for what we're trying to do. Along with that comes the need for true education. True education is a concept that educates the whole being, equal harmonious development of the physical, mental, and spiritual powers. So that's something that I've seen and learned, and I'm trying to follow and develop as we continue. So I went back with Scott Thurman to India, this time to the northern part of India. Maybe you can see the little red dot there in the corner. Totally different location from last time. And we went to an Adventist school there, and we did our best to help this Adventist school thrive, get back into agriculture, get back into their vocational training. They had an old press system. There's like their press room, and this is what they used to print all their documents for their school. They had, I forget how many kids they had, but several hundred kids. Those of you involved in the school here, imagine if you had to type, set, print style, everything you have to do, your tests, I mean everything. They got to crank this thing, they got to like mop some ink on it, crank it, and press it for every print that they do. So very old method and difficult method. So we helped them to get a printer, and that helped in that way. And then we tried to work on the ABCs of true education. So help with cultivating the land and help with developing their vocational training program. This was where they kept all their seeds, and the rats are getting in there and eating. We made it into a concrete building. This is their barn. We made it into a nice functioning barn with a vermiculture section in the front for organic fertilizing. Did a variety of projects for them there, and it was good training time for me to practice and to learn. There's another shot of their barn, and it had all kinds of problems, leaking roof and people coming inside and rats and stuff. So this is their welding department and woodshop department. Back some years ago, they had a nice functioning welding department and program and a nice woodshop program, but then over the years they developed all of this stuff inside. They just kind of used it for storage. They kept all this kind of garbage stuff inside. So Scott and I cleaned it all out, and we recycled all that stuff, and we made the equivalent pay of the highest paid person there at the property. So the principal is the highest paid. We made the equivalent off the recycled goods to a year's salary for that person, and then we fixed a bunch of problems. So fixed the windows, fixed the tractor, got the tractors plowing again, got the seed storage all fixed up, got the barn fixed up, built up better composting toilets for them, got the farm from not functioning to functioning, and turned that vocational classroom that was used for storage into an actual functioning vocational classroom. So those are their desks there. The importance of hands-on training is key. Learning the trade of carpentry is much more than just sanding the table, building the table. You learn life skills, you learn spiritual lessons, you learn so much from carpentry. And this quote gives instruction on how to build the facility that we're working on now, how to erect the buildings with the students, how to start small companies, how to become self-supporting. So after going to those locations and learning all the things that we had learned, we decided to go to Haiti just after the earthquake. There is a map there for those of you that don't know where Haiti is. I didn't really know anything about Haiti before I went, and I probably couldn't have found it on a map. That is their White House, like their palace, the government building that was destroyed in the earthquake and since has been torn down. This is a tank that is owned and run by the United Nations, and that is parked right in front of the administrative building at the Adventist school there. So imagine seeing that every day going to school. The UN soldier there with his big gun is right there at the Adventist campus, standing right in front of their admin building. This is a picture of the Adventist hospital there. When Scott and I arrived, we were wandering around. We walk into the Adventist hospital, and my friend from high school that I hadn't seen for 15 years was in charge of everything there. It was the administrator of the hospital. So I got a chance to reconnect with a friend, and I was able to stay there at the hospital. I lived there at the hospital for 3 years in the hallway, then in the patient room, then in like a little volunteer area. It was just after the earthquake, so a very difficult time. People are dying there at the hospital. They're being taken out in tarps and sheets and put in the parking lot. People are all living in the parking lot, little tent cities everywhere. So very difficult time for the country and very difficult time for us to go there. But a good time for us to help. We helped to rebuild. There I'm driving the forklift there to move trash around and help at the Adventist University there to repair and rebuild. This is their packaging and shipping company. Then we did a big remodel project to remodel some buildings for a Loma Linda project that's happening there at the Adventist University. And this was really our first project there in Haiti. And Scott got the contract to do that project. And then we, at the same time, are looking around for land. There we are getting some survey information. Here's another picture of us going to India and in India there. And we really had a great time together and had our whole life planned together. And there we're doing more traveling. That is the Dead Sea in Israel. And in 2012, Scott passed away from a car accident, devastating to myself and to friends and family and everyone involved in his life. And that left me with a difficult decision to make, to continue working in Haiti or to come home and kind of give up or what to do. I spent several months in the hospital, in the room there, just not wanting to do anything. Another volunteer came and encouraged me to go to an orphanage close by. And I went to see these orphanages and just really, really moving and sad situation that these orphans are in. After the earthquake in Haiti, there's an estimated 300,000 kids that were orphaned. So a very bad situation for the orphans. I continue to study. I see texts like this, quotes like this that say, caring for orphans and widows in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you is the religion, the true, pure and genuine religion. So I continue to study and start to help the orphans in the area there. This is an orphanage that was using charcoal to cook with, and we converted it to propane. This is their security wall that wasn't functioning well, and we turned it into a nice proper wall. We got beds and mattresses for the kids. This is the water line of the city, and someone has put a hole in the water line so that they can get water for the poor people there. And it's not good, clean water, so we teach them how to filter it. They are bathing outside and stuff, so we build some nice showers and toilet systems for them and get running water. And we made peanut butter for a while and gave everybody peanut butter. This is one primary location where all the kids and adults were sleeping in the little middle section there. And 18 kids and several adults are just on the floor in there with no plumbing or electricity or bathrooms or beds or mattresses or anything. And we renovated everything inside, outside, made stairs, made a garden in the front, started a little small business, gave them an opportunity to support themselves and to live more comfortably, give them electricity, That's a view of it at night. This is another location. This is where Dan went to volunteer at Mexine's Orphanage, and just wonderful little kids. And there's a lot of pictures of the orphanage work there, and the transportation that we had, and all the people in the truck, and all the stuff in the truck to travel around on those difficult roads. So after being at the Adventist Hospital for 3 years, they needed to do some remodeling and bring more people to work at the hospital. So they politely asked us to build our own location. So then we are setting up our own city mission location just outside of Port-au-Prince, there where the red dot is. And that is a drone picture of the city mission that we operate today. We have almost an acre of garden space there where we're growing a bunch of different vegetables and fruit trees. And then the building on the right and the other tin roof areas are where we operate a wood shop training program. So we get shipping pallets. These are all shipping pallets and wire spools that we have gotten, and we turn those shipping pallets into really cool furniture. So we're teaching the locals, young people and adults, how to make cool stuff, teaching them carpentry, teaching them how to support themselves. This is probably one of our better tables. We took the garbage on the one side there, on the left side, and then made it into the table on the right side. So the stuff on the left was free. The table on the right side sold for $1,200. So in a place where people are making $1 or $2 a day, to take some garbage and make it into a $1,200 table is a very nice thing for people. That is probably close to my record for carrying pallets in a little pickup truck. I think there's 26 pallets in there. I like to set records however I can. I got pulled over for carrying that, and the police were not happy that I had that many pallets in there. So there's some stuff that we have made, and there's one of our nicer things that we have made, all out of recycled shipping pallets, and then sold to the Marriott Hotel there in Haiti, sold to fancy restaurants and stores, and this is kind of in the target of Haiti. Myself and the 16-year-old boy in the picture did that whole project by ourselves. This is a library that we built for a nice school. There is our shop in the city. More stuff that we made for another ministry, tables, benches, all kinds of stuff. So then in 2014, we finally found land. The whole time that we're there, we're trying to get land, find land, get land donated, buy land, anything that we can do. 2014, we finally found land, continuing to study and reading all the quotes and everything we see where the school should be located, that it should be able to provide education broader than what the mere study of books will provide, a place where we can have enough land to cultivate, a place where we can start little businesses and have a self-supporting institution. So we continue to learn and study that. And then where the second red dot is up there in the north is where we've started the country mission. We came like settlers into the wild and found a field with all kinds of problems, and had to bulldoze a 1-mile path to get to the land, then had to machete chop everything and clear the land and try and get things started. That's why I like this text here is, for he was like a foreigner living in tents. So I'm a foreigner in a foreign land, and that was my tent. We got onto the property and we built this house all out of the shipping pallets. So the floor, the walls, the ceiling is all out of recycled shipping pallets, and that was our first structure on the property. We had medical clinics in the pallet house. We had everybody come and visit, and we all just slept on the floor there in the pallet house. Local workers, myself, visitors, everybody in that little wooden building. We started to plow the fields and plant trees, plant fruit trees. Again, just trying to follow the council and plant whatever we can plant. And then had a hard time accessing the property, trying to drive through the mud, and we got to build bridges to get there. And we go all the way up there. It's a 3 or 4 hour trip. Go all the way up there in the back of this little truck with everybody in the back, get a flat tire, fix the flat tire, go all the way back. So it's very hard to get started and very hard to develop the property. We have the cooks cooking under a shade tree there, trying to put barbed wire around everything to establish our perimeter, and plant flowers and try and make it as nice as possible. Dig a septic hole there for the toilet system, and at the same time try and train the young people how to do carpentry. And that was our first shower and toilet building there, made all out of shipping pallets. Then after about a year of trying to develop, we met another ministry called Restore a Child, headed by Norma, and she helped us a lot to build this first proper building, a depot storage, multi-purpose structure that we have church in today, and a variety of other things. Started a guest house so that people can come and have like a proper place to sleep instead of the pallet house, and then built an outdoor kitchen that is used for training, education, cooking for ourselves, cooking for everybody that comes to visit. Nice place to hang out and to provide some good healthy food. Then we have clinics maybe every 2 months for dental, medical, natural remedy, health, training. We just got a welder and started welding and doing our own welding and working on our trucks. We have lots of mission groups that come. This is a group from Southern, about 25 people that came to help us. And since we've started, we've had almost 1,000 people come to help. Loma Linda, Andrews, Walla Walla, Southern, a bunch of different church groups and families. So the mission field is a place where anybody can come, no matter what your skills are, no matter what your age is, no matter what your knowledge is, no matter what your economic background, physical disabilities, anything, anybody can come. We have acquired a few animals. We've got horses, donkeys, chickens, sheep, turkeys, guinea fowl, dogs, cats, and just trying to learn about animals and enjoy animals, teach about animals, and it's a very enjoyable section of the work. Everybody loves animals. The last group that came, I think, had never seen the animals before. They come straight from the city, and they're taking selfies with the chickens and like chasing turkeys around and trying to ride the animals and stuff. We started to care for bees. Finally, everybody asks, does the beehive have bees? And now finally we have bees. So we're learning about that. It's a lot of spiritual lessons to be learned and a lot of life lessons to be learned by the beehive, by the actual bees in the beehive. There's one of our sheep. Got a lot of fruit trees, about 23 different varieties, everything from mangoes to dragon fruit to plum to a lot of different trees, and we're doing our best to garden and learn about gardening. So this is another quote that we are studying to learn how to build this facility. Manual training is deserving of far more attention than it has received. Schools should be established that in addition to the highest mental and moral culture shall provide the best possible facilities for physical development and industrial training. Instruction should be given in agriculture, manufacturing, covering as many possible of the most useful trades. Also in household economy, healthful cookery, sewing, hygienic dressmaking. Workshops should be erected, and all should be done under skilled instructors. So this is what we're trying to do, have as many trades as we can, have as many self-supporting small job type opportunities that we can have as much education in as many different areas as we can. This is one of our first students, and all the buzzwords around him of all the things that we're trying to develop. This is the plan for the property. Some of the plan is already done. Some of the plan is our future plan. Maybe those that are going to be at potluck, if there's any questions or anybody would like to see the plan, I can go over that. It's kind of hard to see in the picture there. But we've spent a lot of time trying to think about exactly what to do and where to do it. This is a picture taken last year of the actual facility there in Haiti. And we are working on electricity and plumbing and trying to develop it. We've had up to 60 people come and stay there at one time, so we are ready for everybody to come and visit and help. And the mission field is going to be a wonderful experience for you, as it has been for me. It is not just coming to do aid, coming to distribute aid, coming to train. There's a lot that you can learn. There's a lot that I have learned. So come to Haiti and learn something, and also share what you may know or what you have learned. Something that I learned recently, maybe some people have heard about the recent riots and problems and stuff in Haiti. The gas prices went up. It was probably in the news. Lots of people heard about it. I was there during that time, and I got stuck indoors, and I had friends that were stuck at the grocery store for some time. They came out with their groceries, and people are throwing rocks and shooting and burning cars and turning stuff over and breaking into buildings. And they had to go back in the grocery store and spend the night in the grocery store. And people had to all shelter in place. So no matter what money they had in the bank account, the banks are closed. All the people that work at the bank, they left out of fear for their own life. The bank is closed. Western Union stopped sending money to the country, so you can't even get somebody to send you money. They're burning the grocery store, so no food at the grocery store. they're burning the pump, the fuel pump, so you can't get fuel. So very, very amazing to see how quickly things can change, and just a tweet or a Facebook announcement, and get everybody angry all at the same time, and then you're stuck. So I joke that Port-au-Prince is a great place to train for the apocalypse, but it's kind of true. You can come and learn how prepared you really are for the time of trouble and end-time events, and what to do in case of an emergency and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much, and maybe go visit the website or come talk to me after church, and come to potluck and see the master plan. And I'd love for everybody to come visit. Come with one person, come with your whole church family.